All right, and welcome back to Talking Tactical. We are on episode 19. We're going to be talking Fall and Winter Paintball. As always, I am joined by my co-host, Mr. Nero Wolf. So welcome back, man.
Sorry, I had to mute the. I ended up getting an echo in my ear. I forgot to mute the video.
Oh, that's awkward.
One more time. I missed the. I missed what you asked me.
I just
How
said,
are you?
how's
I'm
it going?
good. Great, man. It's been a while. We haven't spoken in. We actually haven't spoken in 2 weeks. Last week got a little hectic. You had some personal issues, so we couldn't actually do the cast. But everything's sorted out. What did you do that was new? What happened?
Nothing much.
Last 2 weeks.
Last 2 weeks, nothing much. Just work, and then get a bunch of stuff actually settled up for next year in fall paintball. So I got registered for Black Flag, so I'm excited for that.
Yep.
Well, sorry, I haven't got registered. I'm going to register tomorrow, but I got the funds ready for it. I got the funds.
Excellent.
That's what I was waiting for, and then yeah, a bunch of really cool stuff going on there. Other than that, not a lot. I've literally been being teased by Evan's post on the new
Warhammer 40,000.
the Warhammer 40,000 Imperial Seal. Oh my god, it looks so nice.
It does. It looks really good.
So I'm excited for that. Other than that, not a lot. I haven't had a chance to like look at gear and say, okay, what am I working for next? So how about you? I know you've been crazy
I've
busy
been working. I've just been working. I ended up getting another show call, so I'm back in the film industry for a little while, working with Gallagher, as we spoke about before. Yeah, I guess we did talk about that. He was, yeah, we've been carpooling, but that's been going crazy. I've actually been working rather hard with that. And days have been getting longer because as soon as we go to camera, it just everything has to be perfect. Everything has to be camera ready, right?
Yep.
But it's been fun. It's been a lot of work.
And I think he mentioned about he let a fart go. And it was awkward.
Yeah. The problem with that is there's always there's people wandering around the set and they're called ADs or assistant directors, and basically their job is keep everybody quiet. There's always people working. Like Gallagher's a carpenter, so he's always working. He's there to work. Whereas with special effects, it's kind of like we rig it all up, we set it all up, and then we wait and wait and wait, and then action. Oh, it didn't work, or so there's actually a chart of all the why didn't it work.
That's cool.
Should it have moved? Did it move? Did it not move?
Yeah.
Duct tape.
Exactly.
WD-40. Run. Those are your three options. Yeah. Or can you blame it on someone? Can you get away with it? Or can you walk away and no one will know who did it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then show-wise, we got episode 18's up on audio download. I totally goofed on that where I uploaded it and I didn't put it on the RSS feed or download. So I was like getting prepped for this show and I was like, where's episode 18? And so that's up.
Sorry about that, guys.
Yeah, the YouTube's up, and also YouTube is up for Pub Night. So
excellent, good.
We were, if you missed that one, a lot of fun. We were in Peterborough. That was a great show. Giveaways unfortunately are delayed because
surprise guests.
Yes, surprise guests.
Amazing.
Which I created a little bit of awkward fan art for because I was coloring with my kids and I just drew his helmet and was just like, "You respect the square." So that was fun.
That was insane.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
That needs to be a patch, Jesse. You got to make a respect the square, and because you haven't done an Iron Man patch properly yet that I know of that I can remember.
I don't think so. Has there even been an Iron Man
patch, or in general, an Iron Man?
An Iron Man patch in general.
I don't. Oh yeah, I've seen several of them, but I've never bought one, and my wife probably hates me for it.
Yeah, it happens.
So we're here to talk Fall and Winter Paintball. What are you going to do? So we've got Black Flag coming up this fall. We obviously missed with Sega, but when was the last time you went to a Sega?
Last year. I was at last year's. That being said, because they switch sides every year, I will officially have only played on one side in the past 5 years if I go make it next year. So this is funny how that always works out.
Same boat. We've been in the red team forever. We always followed the Yeti. Tyler.
Yeah. We were blue, red, and then we were going to follow red, then we played blue. Or then I missed a year, sorry. And then we went blue. It was like, we switched teams just because of stuff. So that was
red or dead, boy.
Fun.
Red or dead. Nothing but.
I agree, but
bad team. Always be the bad guys.
It's the more fun one.
It is. It always is.
Oh, yeah. As we say that, I'm just quickly sharing this because I was like, I didn't share the page. So talk about the end of summer.
We've got end of summer's. It's just been wrapping up nicely. I haven't done too much. I mean, we did a cottage weekend. Haven't been paintballing in a while, which is unfortunate. I haven't had a chance. But Black Flag is my my next game for sure. I have set it up with Jeff. I am going. It's going to be a thing. It's going to be great. I can't wait. It's going to be huge. It's going to be
I'm excited.
Huge.
I'm hoping that numbers are really starting to pick up now.
Yep. The numbers is what? There's no cap on registration though, is there? Or do they actually have 100. A team cap? 100 people. Right. It was a very small.
It was actually supposed to. You have to hit 100. That's the thing. We have to hit close to 100 for Jeff to be able to do it.
Right. Okay. So this is the game that if we fail, it's kind of like a see, guys, you're not that badass at MagFed. It failed because you didn't want it to work. So that's unfortunate. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But if it's not there, I'm gonna be upset. It'll just be a walk-on day, but I'll still go to PRZ that weekend.
Yeah. I'll actually Sector 57 is hosting an event that weekend. They're doing a zombie game, which I'll probably go to if this one doesn't go. But it's not at PRZ. It's over in
right. Sorry, it's in
Avid
Paintball. I always think it's PRZ because it was originally supposed to be PRZ. My brain kind of got stuck in that mode, but no, it's good. Hopefully, it'll be fun. I think Gallagher's gonna come. I'm not sure. He's watching. He should comment, but he never seems to.
He commented once about the farts.
Hey, buddy. Silent farts are not so silent. Yeah, never trust a fart, brother. Never trust a fart.
Okay, there we go. That was where I wanted to put that. All right, yeah. So
you're done fiddling with something else?
Yes, I'm done fiddling with something else. Being totally distracted.
Okay, so fall paintball. What do you look? So this year's coming up this fall. Where do you go in a sector at all this year? You're going to be going to hit some of those fields?
Posting as I go. I'm not 100% because I got 3 weddings in September that I got to go to.
Yeah,
and figure that out.
I have a wedding this weekend.
Yeah. That being said, though, if you're going fall paintballing, this is the best time to bring friends. Especially September and October. You can layer up. You don't overheat.
No school friends. New school friends, rather.
New school friends. Fields are generally pretty much set up because if there's any repairs to do from the winter, they're good. And the brush is actually fairly thick still, which I really like. So, because the only thing I don't like about spring paintball is you're like, oh, I'm going to cut through the woods. And then you're like, the woods are really open right now because there's no leaves on the trees. So,
yeah, it's a little interesting when there's no leaves on the trees and it's just straight shots everywhere. Even again, that goes back to why I love Georgina so much, is because it's got that thick evergreen. It's got the cedar everywhere, and the only part that doesn't have evergreen is tall trees. So it doesn't matter. Are you drinking straight gin tonight, sir?
No,
are you going old fashioned?
I'm just having water.
Grandpa mode. Somebody has to go to bed soon.
I know. Gallagher won't be at Black Flag, he said. So our guest from last show, unfortunately, won't be there. We'll get him back on and find him somewhere to drag him out and play paintball. So fall paintball is great for that. The other thing, too, with winter paintball coming up, it's the perfect opportunity if you have indoor fields to... we have the MagFed Pickup League in GTA, which is awesome.
Right. Hopefully I'll get into a couple of those this year.
Just great, like, to just get a bunch of people together and play your events. Like, if you want to take the time now, do it. And then also, like, last kick at summer, hit the paintball field before the end of it and get your gear used if you haven't already.
Yeah, I cleaned and oiled everything. I got to do it again now. I put it all away. It's all got to come back out. Got to re-oil, re-clean, which is something you should do after every time you use your gun, people. Excuse me, I'm a little sick. I'm coming down with something. I had a tickle in my throat all day. Don't mind the frog or the nasally. Sorry, guys.
That's all right. And then, so what is your favorite season to play in?
I love the fall, absolutely. But spring. I like spring because it's getting warmer. You know, so you still have a couple layers on, but you can even layer down if you want. You can take a couple off because you start to overheat. But fall, I love fall when it gets late fall. Snow falls on the fall. Autumn, when the snow falls and it's nice and it's like just white. Everything is white, and everything has no color. There's an absence of color everywhere, and then all of a sudden you'll just see a ball fly out of nowhere, and you don't see where it came from. At all, even though everything is supposed to be white, and then all of a sudden a black head pops up because it's a mask. You can see this mask pop up out of nowhere. It's like but it's just like a light dusting of snow. Because one of my favorite, I think my favorite game ever was a winter. It was Winter Wonderland. It was the last days of CQB when the snow fell. It was like playing. It was like playing in I was playing in snow. It was fake. We were jumping off second stories. Evan, Alabaster Slim, myself, Zach to Catch, which Rizla, a whole bunch of guys came out those days. Well, I think they were working, actually. Now that I really think of it, Rizla and Too Tall were working.
Yeah.
Those weekends. But that was by far one of the most fun games ever, because we were just flopping off of the second stories into mounds of snow.
Yeah.
And it was just fun. It was a winter wonderland.
And winter paintball's funny like that. It's really hard on markers normally. Paint is iffy if you can get it right. But
Yep.
So it's
at the right temperature.
Yeah, like that's the one thing, is like the gear and paint's the iffy, but all the stories you hear of like, I can run and I can jump, I can dive, I can slide, I can get in here,
Yep.
I can get out there. Like, it's just so much fun to do that.
It's dynamic cover. Snow is the best cover ever. You jump in, you sink in, you're covered. It's amazing. No matter where you are, you can run a mile, drop into a nice foot of snow, and you're gone.
Yep.
Because the snow covers over top behind you. It's the perfect camouflage. And if you're smart and you wear white in the winter, you disappear. But some people like to wear their bright colors, and it's silly. It's so
they always
silly.
wear their bright. But yeah, that's it's one of those things. Like, yeah, not a lot of people do it, but it's worth it. It's like you want to make the long road trip to that field that's far away. You want to play winter ball at least once.
You have to play winter ball.
It's funny as I say that, because I don't think I've played it since picking up MagFed mainstream, like true outdoor winter ball. But I played it all the time in high school. Like, when I first was playing Renegade Ball, it was a blast to do it then. So,
back with your old 98s and your
Piranha.
Piranha.
The good old
the good old
Piranha.
Crappy Tire Special.
Yep.
You know what? The Crappy Tire Special was always a bad thing, but it was always an entry level. Like, it always got kids into playing. Yeah, I would always have that gun in my office to fix. Probably had about 4 or 5 of those that were like never reclaimed, because every time they played with the gun it broke. But it still got them to the field, and we always had the what's it called, the policy where that if your gun broke, we'll give you a rental. We'll just give you a rental. Just switch your paint over, go have fun. We don't care. We just want to get you on the field shooting paint, having fun. And then those Piranhas, those cheaper markers don't work in the cold.
No.
But on that note, those 98 customs, back, what was it? Icicle Thrust 2, great game. Or no, Icicle Thrust 1, my mistake. It was at Georgina Paintball. It was the first time I had actually taken a command role at a big game. Big game. I say this in air quotes. I ended up getting like Carl Ethbridge coming up. He was one of my sergeants for the game. A whole bunch of people from all over the place showed up for this game. It was huge. It was probably one of the biggest games Georgina had put on. This is a couple of years before I actually worked there.
Okay.
And like I got an owner from another field to come all the way up to Georgina and play in the middle of the winter. And this happened to be the coldest day of the year. It got to minus 40 something with wind chill. People's CO2s on their bandoliers were popping off and launching like rockets because the seals were blowing because it was contracting with the gas or all that liquid. It was dangerous. And then of course these speedball guns at the highest end markers were failing. Failing. You had the odd Milsig. My Hammer 7 lasted forever. I see was boss. Oh, yes, it was. Boss. Thank you. You got it. Yeah, I don't read lead speak. Sorry, man. Boss. South boss. Got it. Okay, makes sense now. You're up there. Comments are up there though for me. Sorry.
That's fine.
Yeah, Icicle Thrust 1 was amazing because it was just, again, Winter Wonderland. There's a Cat Shack. Even he came up from Brantford. Is it Cat Shack?
Cat Shack reports.
Yeah, Cat Shack reports. Tomcat Cunningham.
Yeah, Tomcat is that's the main person.
He came all the way out too, and there's a video of him like, so how's the day been? Oh, it's been great. It's been cold, and I just like run away into the distance. But if you look, it's knee-high snow all the way out, and we're running through it. It was a blast.
Yeah.
And Byron, it was so much fun.
And Byron said in the comments too, is that like high-end markers may fail, but he says my Sixer never will. Sixer. I don't know that one.
Kixer? Yeah. Can you write that out phonetically for us? I can't read that at all.
This is
maybe you can look
it
up.
Gigger.
Oh, you can look it up. Fantastic.
Because I've never heard of that before.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So these A5s and these
mechanical. He's talking about a mechanical.
Even A5s were blowing out. But every time somebody else's gun would fail, sure enough, Georgina's 98 Customs, tink 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 tink. My Hammer 7 worked well a ton. Oops, he was at IC2.
Yeah. Byron's marker that he mentioned, the Sixer is a it's a mechanical marker.
Okay.
So on the lines of like an autococker. That's what I'm looking for.
Okay.
That's
Yep.
what I'm
Yep.
looking for. Yeah. So yeah, like same
Self-pumping.
platform is like just solid running markers, and it's actually like I was looking for a while. Still kind of like my eye opened is for an A5. You get
Yep.
a hopper on it, it will last. Like the X7's really good too, but it's got a little bit
Amazing.
of bells and whistles. But the A5,
Well,
like
that's the
just
same. The
basic
A5 and the A5 and the
X7.
X7, the classic X7, basically the same platform. They
Oh yeah,
actually, the only difference they really did was that tombstone. They just modified the tombstone and made it a single block that's screwed
yeah,
into your airline,
yeah,
opposed to being that chunk on the bottom of your gun.
yeah,
But that was just that you could add an ASA onto the gun if you wanted.
yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
that's all
So
that was for. But that was the only real change. But then when they made the Phenom, they put in that what the hell is it called, Gallagher? We were talking about it a couple days ago.
paddles.
No, the pneumatic system that they have in it, and I can't remember what it is. It's a spindle, spool valve, spool valve, spool valve. My brain wants to say spool valve. That sounds like incorrect.
Okay.
Poppet. There you
Inline
go.
poppet.
Inline
There you
pop. Thank you. Just it's perfect because you can take that little platform and you can put it in any gun ever, and that'll work because the 98 it's an ion. Yes, I'm aware. And it just the 98 or the X7 Phenom. It's a great platform. It always works. Doesn't matter cold, not cold, wet, raining, hot, dirty hot. It's amazing. And yes, it's the exact same thing as the TPX, but it's just made longer
Yeah.
to fit into that rifle body and balance out the weight.
Yeah. And Brandon commented as BT Omega. Yeah, like I think everyone's got that backup.
Well, it's again the BT those BTs. They're all 98 clones, which are all clones of obviously something else. But it's
Yeah.
all those blowbacks always worked almost. I think I had a MK2 out that day with blowback still in it, and it ran and ran and ran. It worked rather well. And the TPX again is always going to be the marker of choice for my pistol. I had twin 8.1s, but it always came down to weight. The weight of the mags, the weight of the guns, the weight of the barrel, like the weight of everything. The barrels were hard. Like they were nice to remove, but they were thick and they were chunky.
I love mine. Like
I love the gun.
as much as I don't use my TPX as much anymore. Like this year at least. I think mostly because I was doing running the dam, and then I've been having fun with the M5. But no, my pistol, same thing. It's like it's just that fun go to on those couple days when you just want to run something light. So what do you think of like does your loadout change? Because I know you're very standardized, but your loadout from summer to fall, like to back it up a little bit from winter.
Not at all. I like to keep as close to the same gear set always because I've always used it. I've always worn it. I'm comfortable in it. It works. Why change something if it's not broken? The only thing that I'll change is I'll add an extra layer, or I'll take one off, or sometimes in the winter I might carry a couple extra mags, maybe a few extra air tanks because you obviously with the cold the air compresses and it doesn't condenses rather, and you don't get as many shots off.
Yep.
Some people argue the opposite. Oh, the colder it is, the more air you fit in your tank. But it's about pressure. It's not about volume, which people don't seem to get.
It's also too, isn't it like when you fill up your tank, it does get cold, and then like you have to wait for the air to settle?
No, it heats up. It heats up.
Oh, it heats up. Sorry.
And then when it cools down,
the
pressure also drops when it cools down.
So that's what it is.
So you have to keep refilling it.
Yeah.
If you filled up a cold tank, that would be intense.
Yeah.
When you go to a dive shop, they actually submerge the tanks in water because it just fills it so fast that they heat up really quickly. It's very interesting to watch. They put it in a bathtub when they fill them. They have to do those massive dive tanks.
Yeah.
And we do CO2 and air all the time for work, so we have to. It's actually kind of funny to watch because doing it from paintball, it's just like, psh, here you go. Whereas these guys are like face shield, gloves, dip it in it's a paintball tank, dip it in the tub, fill it, hand it back. It was excessive, but thank you. Have a nice day.
Yeah.
Thank you for the overpriced air. I might as well have just bought popcorn.
Yeah, maybe. Hey, at least you got a show out of it. I find that my loadout preference will change, or like what I want to walk on the field with. So right now, for example, I'm grabbing my battle belt and I'm grabbing my leg rig, and I'll just run my tank in stock. And I'm like, I just want something quick and light because it's hot. But
I will add leg rigs. Sorry, I will add leg rigs just because a little bit extra, not just padding, but a little bit extra keeping the heat in.
Yeah, but no, like I'll actually run that in the summer though, and then I won't run my vest. But then that's pretty much for August only. I found now, like for the month of August, just with how hot it can get. Mind you, this year hasn't been too bad, but a couple times I'm just like, yeah, I need to cool it down a bit. So
Yep. Oh, Gallagher, you're hilarious. There's enough. Yeah, there's a ton of nitrogen in those bags. It's crazy. You can't. No, seriously. If you inhale as you open a chip bag, you'll get high.
I believe it. I believe
Like
it.
the big
the
freaking
really
large
big ones.
families. Yeah, the big
Yeah.
large, because there's only this much chip and that much nitrogen. That's quite a bit to just go.
Yeah, I
It'd be like
remember.
a little whippet.
Yeah, I remember we actually pulled a whole bunch of chips one time. I'm not gonna name the brand, but when I worked at the grocery store, because it was like half empty. Like I was like, this doesn't feel right. Like my manager's like, no, pull them all off. He called the chip guy. He goes back the next day. He goes, no, that's how they are. We're like, oh, and then that brand just slowly disappeared off our shelves, and we stopped carrying.
Yeah, that's
So,
terrible.
That was interesting.
That brand. Oh, name the brand. Whatever. It's not like you work there and have to harm anybody. You know what? Let's keep it political.
Yeah, exactly.
Part of it.
Yeah. So then, so when do you go to events the most? Because that's actually a good question. Like I have kids. So
I don't. I used to go a lot in the summer. Sorry. You have kids.
So I like, well, I have kids, so like they're off in the summer, and so it's like family stuff. Whereas I find that June and then October especially are my two easier time to book events than like, oh, I can only make it out so much in the summer and stuff like that, just with other family or friend stuff. So that's one thing that I know is that like making those like later events in the year are sometimes easier. So how about do you ever find that or?
Yeah, because then you've got some time to plan it out. You got some time to save the money. But again, it's a circle, right? It's all cyclical. So
Yeah.
every time a game comes around, you can always think about it and save, because as soon as a game is over, they're planning their next one and their next one and their
Yeah.
next one. Sorry, the field. As soon as the game is over, the field start planning their next game.
Yep.
They always post in like December, January, what the schedule is going to be the next year. So you've always got enough time to plan. But it always comes to the fall. I love the fall games. It's cooler outside. Like more people tend to come out because all the back to school money, all those kids get their OSAP checks, so they spend that on paintball.
Yep.
Too tall. Pardon, I got something on my hand.
And then you live off hot and ready,
and then you live
pizzas
for the rest of
and
the month, and then
Exactly.
you get it. I did that for years. It was a blast. But yeah, you just get more players. You really do. You get it's funny once the OSAP checks come in, you see more of the younger guys coming out to the field, and it's actually kind of funny to I didn't notice that until I dated somebody who was on OSAP, and I noticed that like we would start going out more as soon as that OSAP check came in, and then I noticed when I went to the paintball field there would be more players when we were going out more, and it's like I wonder.
Also, too, summer jobs. Like you're
Well,
not
yes,
working
no, because it's the end of the summer, right?
Yeah,
So they,
but like the same thing as well. Like it's
they're collecting and they've been waiting for these games. That makes sense. I did that too as a kid.
Yeah.
Saved up all fucking summer for something I didn't need or want. But that's just
I'm still doing that. I'm like okay, like time to window shop. Like we just made the joke in the pre-show where we were getting ready, and I'm like, yeah, I got the event coming. I'm like, okay, now I got to start looking and go like, what do I actually want now? Like, what's the goal? Is it a camera? Is it computer stuff? Is it paintball stuff? Podcast stuff? What are we doing?
Podcast stuff. I gotta get a mic. I gotta get a few things because this has got to go. I'm sick of this nonsense. I just want to even speakers. I want to try to set up a non-feedback with speakers so we can talk and I don't hear you and over my. You understand. I hear you, but you don't hear yourself.
Yep.
Figure it out.
That's
We'll
okay.
get it sorted out.
Oh, yeah.
But that's probably now that I'm back into film. Once I get a couple of my debts cleared out, they're gonna be building my gear back up. But it's hard. It's hard. Life sucks when you get into debt. Don't buy anything, kids, on credit. If you don't have the money, don't do it. Credit advice from people who failed miserably.
Yeah.
Always take advice from somebody who's been to the bottom.
Yep.
Because they've had to work their way back up.
Yep. Or play the used market, getting up, but don't rely on it. I've had a lot of friends get burnt. Like it kills me. I saw one person who I met at WSAG a year ago, who I think for 4 weeks straight, every 3 days, bought a marker according to the comments, or was looking at one, and then was selling one. Like they just were constantly flipping.
There's a lot of people that do that anyways. There's people that do not just on buy sell trades, or they kind of make it look like, oh, I didn't like this gun, but buy it, and then they resell at profit. And they buy a ton of guns, and they stockpile them, and then they just start selling them off slowly to make some money off of it, which is good. It's a good way to do it. I think one of the members of Black Ice started doing that, which was great for him. And he started making paracord slings, which were fucking amazing. Madstone paracord slings. Check them out. I have a black and red wood to match my Deadpool facade. It's gorgeous. I love it. Absolutely love it.
And on that note too, though, we're actually going to probably see a whole bunch hit the used market's going to probably explode in the next 3 weeks. Because the summer is coming to an end. So if there was something you were looking for, keep an eye on now.
Yeah, buy sell trades. I got a couple people with feelers out for me for some things. So I hope they come back with something.
Something. Little something.
Yeah. Something secret and private. But no, like fall games are fun. When the colors start to change, the dynamics change because camouflage changes, and obviously the dynamics of camouflage changes as well. So I haven't been looking at the camera; I've been staring off into space. It's a really good. It's such a broad topic, and because it's so long. Like that's 6 months of the year, just like every other half of the year. Byron, build your kit young. And just keeps. It's good, yeah. Build your kit, stick to it, practice what you know what you practice. Just keep using the same stuff over and over. Like I will always go back to my X7. That's my bread and butter. That's my baby. I had a classic. I had an A5. I had all these guns before, but I always had an A5 that kind of looked like a Scar, and I got. I loved it when that thing came out because I loved the Scar. It was a beautiful gun. And then they came out with that Scar body kit for the Assault body kit for it. And I bought that in a heartbeat. It was amazing. I lost myself. But yeah, build your kit young and just either add to it or refine it.
And
because
don't force yourself like the square block into the round peg.
Yeah, don't if you don't like a gun, don't force yourself to like it. If it doesn't work with you, put it down, try something else, try a friend. Don't just go out and buy a new gun right away.
Try a friend's.
Go ahead.
Biggest
it helps the industry. Yeah, try a friend's gun. Hey buddy, can I borrow this? Sure. Because most people will be like, yeah, can I borrow yours? I know for a fact I always travel with 3 or 4 markers when I go to the field. Some pistols. But I wanted to go back to that as well. The Tiberiuses, just the weight of those things gets so clunky compared to the TPXs. We kind of jumped way off. We bounce around a lot, don't we?
We do bounce around a lot.
It's like ADD TTP.
We need Gallagher here just to stay silent and nod his head.
Yep, that was great. If you do want to be a guest at the Talking Tactical Podcast, you can always reach out to us in the messages, and one of us will definitely get back to you as soon as possible. We're always looking for guests, and we're always probing for people to come on because we love to talk to people because talking to each other is boring sometimes.
Yeah, and probing in the nice way.
And probing in the I'll probe it anyway. The focus host. Exactly. There's always a focus host, and there's always the talking head, and I'm definitely the talking head. I
used to be focused.
I do not need a buzz. Nah, Tyler, stop it. Shock collar. Could you imagine that? A shock collar you could use over your phone? That'd be terrible. Like somebody says, "Your dog's barking."
I feel like that's feel like that's a girlfriend or a wife on vibrate on the cell phone.
They have that. They have that. There is a phone operated vibrator that does exist. It's weird. Yes, Gallagher. Yeah, that's happening now. It's very true. So back to Winter Ball. The Icicle Thrust games and the dying days of CQB were definitely my hands down the best winter paintball I have ever played. But I play year round. I don't pigeonhole myself. I don't just play in the summer. I'm not afraid of the elements. Like, yeah, I'm gonna go out and I know I'm gonna get cold. It's like kids. I always jump to kids. It's like people who always just say, "Oh, I don't want to go play paintball because I'm gonna get hurt." No shit. What are the first 4 letters of paintball? You know what you got. You know what you signed up for.
I had to actually think about that one for a second. I was just like, what?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what you signed up for. The first 4 letters. 1, 2, 3, 4. PAIN.
And
Pain. You're going to get some. Deal with it.
Rain and other things I get where you don't want to play all day, but just go out with your change of clothes. Go out and have fun with it. Like sliding, slipping.
So when it starts to rain, go sit in your car for a half an hour.
Yep.
It's Ontario. The weather's going to pass.
And I get thunderstorms. I get lightning storms. I understand that. I do, but yeah, no. Brave the elements, and if you committed to an event, committed to a day out in paintball, just go. You'll have fun probably no matter what.
Yeah, Nathan got the question right.
What's the you had like three segues there. Fall paintball, so like the colors are changing. This is where I was
Yeah.
gonna go with that. I no, I get to go now. Is one thing I love about fall paintball too is that someone who probably got into the sport during the summer or in the spring, that is going to be better because you are like ready to play. You're ready to go out there. You're pushing like you've been maybe playing a little bit or gone to a camp in the summer. Like I find the level of play in the fall is also better than the spring and the summer because there's usually new blood or people are warmed up to the year. They're used to their new gears or their gear. So that I really enjoy as well. Something we didn't quite talk about, but just to mention there.
No, it's very true.
Yeah.
Because they spend all summer, and it's a little more fun playing with them. The guys who've actually got into their gear,
Yeah.
and have worked their gear worn in their gear,
Worn in their gear, memorized. They know how to load on the fly, which was actually really funny. I was at last time I
load
played
what?
the sector,
Sorry, load what on the fly? I don't
like
understand.
megs, like you're using,
Oh,
you're
got
not
it.
fumbling, you're not figuring it out. You're practiced, you're experienced. One of the best one was I played a do-si-do around a rectangle box. You know the at sector, the warehouse field, they had like the
hey,
hockey
Matthew.
boxes.
Sorry,
And
if this is the Matthew Daniels, I think it is. He is actually an old. It is. Matthew is an old high school friend of mine from grade 9 that showed up one day at Georgina Paintball, and it was amazing. It was great to see you, buddy. I haven't worked there in years, and I have missed you. Reach out to me in the messages, man. I would love to talk to you sometime very soon. Please.
he's also excited for the new Warhammer patch too.
Yeah,
He's
that looked
commenting.
amazing.
Excited for that. But yeah, so I did a do-si-do, but I had someone with with a hopper come up on me, and we did a do-si-do where they came up and they were about 3 steps away, and I popped up, and they called mercy because they were trying to come bunker me, but I came up and he was just kind of like he wasn't confident about it, and I was like no, and I took a shot and it was a blank, and I'm like oh crap, so I drop. He came around and then I went the opposite way, but I dropped my mag, loaded my mag, so that by the time I came back around, and he had stopped.
Recycled your mag. Or cycled your mag.
Cycled my mag.
Sorry.
Came around, and then he would stopped because he was like, he didn't know where I went. But I was ready to on him, and then I don't know if I got hit, like, from another player or from him or what, but, like, I think I pretty much walked off at the same time. But it was, like, I had someone barreling at me, and I just was like, oh crap, dropped in, and then around I went. Like while I am using a new marker, I'm using my same loadout, so the body action on finding my mag is quick.
What's your new marker now?
The M5.
Oh, M5. Copy.
Yeah.
Sorry, I forgot you dropped your dam. Did you sell your dam?
The dam is gone. Dam
Is gone. He sold the die. No more die.
I actually sold the die before the M5 was officially out, and I almost didn't have a mag fed marker for Honey Badger. So luckily Evan had them in time. So Gallagher's got a story. It was Peter knows the time. I ran halfway across Georgina to mercy a trench full of people with a TIPX and no CO2.
I'm not getting these questions.
You're not seeing the comments, or you're not?
Oh, there we go. No, now I got it. There we go. It just refreshed for some reason. It took a while. That was a crazy day. He just where did Gallagher? Eric, what do you? Okay. Oh, he got somebody. Let's go help him. Like we just kind of sat back and watched for a second. I remember Gallagher. We just kind of sat back and watched him, and then like once he was done, it was like, oh, let's go clean up this mess.
Mm-hmm.
It happens a lot though. A lot of our guys, like a lot of the guys that we play, I use that term kind of figuratively. You play, not you, me, Gallagher, because sorry,
the people's
myself, Gallagher, and James, the guys we normally play with, like the CQB aficionados, that's not the right word. Them's guys. Hi, James White. Fucking phonetic. I can't. His name also, I can't ever say properly because there's that ch and it gets it like witched. Sorry. Hi, James. Hey, Jimmy. Oh, go ahead. I buzzed out.
Okay. So I think winter, fall paintball, to bring it back to topics there. It's a different style. It's a lot of fun though. Fields normally have their new stuff up.
Yep.
The
Yeah, 'cause
terrains
they always
changed.
build in the summer.
Yeah.
Yep. Right,
Terrains
sorry.
have changed. Everyone's used to their gear.
Hey, look,
Gallagher's
kitty.
bzzzt. So here's a good question though. We don't see as many fall events. I
No,
do notice a giant tipping point with
because
events once the fall and the winter hit. So what do you think we need to do as players to try and invigorate that scene?
go play in the fall. Go to your fields. Tell the field owners, hey, why don't you have a fall big game? There's always the Halloween or the costume games. They always come around in the early fall. But I think you're talking more late fall, early winter.
Yeah, like October.
That's when
early
fields
November.
start to shut down.
Yeah.
A lot of the outdoor fields shut down in November. Does sector stay open all year?
No, sector shuts down.
Does it really?
Usually it's not Thanksgiving weekend. There's something in November.
So they do shut down.
Yeah. It's usually that they'll first weekend of November. I'm pretty sure it's officially closed, but not officially. It's like if it's going to be a nice weekend, we're good. The moment the first snow hits, we're out. The problem with sector versus some fields is that the road leading into it isn't well maintained by the city. So once it actually goes, it is more of like, it's not so much that we don't want to as much as you don't want to trash your car trying to get to us. So that's one thing.
It's always that's the problem with the good rural fields is
Yeah.
the rural, you can't get to them, and that's one of the good things about Georgina is that they're on what's now no longer a rural route. It's all paved roads all the way up there that gets plowed, which was amazing. It's phenomenal.
Same with Wasaga. They're open. I
Yep.
think
Almost
they are
year-round.
open year round, and they actually do weekend winter
Yes.
games. Which is
Well,
cool.
Georgina shuts down. They're only open Saturday, Sundays.
Yeah.
They're open on Fridays, but it's just paperwork and set stuff.
And then the indoor stuff starts to pick up as well. And then does Flag Rider stay open in the winter?
They have an indoor field, I believe.
Yeah, I think it's just the indoor field stays. So I think it's really, it's just Georgina and Wasaga. And Wasaga, actually, no. Wasaga is the one, they have Frosty's Revenge. It is
That's in March.
Is it March? I thought it was February or March.
Frosty's is March. March break game.
Okay, yeah, that one's always that. I want to go to that one because it actually always looks good. I just always got to find the time.
Oh, indoor field is closed. I didn't know that. There you go. That makes sense. You know what? The industry has it's hit one of those 5-year down, and it's on
pending
its way back up
relocation
right now.
So apparently, Flag Raiders, that one's pending relocation.
Probably a
So
lease issue.
yeah, so it's so there's Paintball City, Splatters, DEF CON Toronto, DEF CON Mississauga. Those are kind of the main indoor.
We mentioned the pickup league a little bit earlier, Nathan. I haven't played in the pickup league. I haven't played a single game yet. I don't know. I think structured tournaments just kind of take away from the fun of MagFed for me.
It's not though. It really
MagFed.
isn't. It's not.
Really?
It's not tournaments at all. What it is that they generally make a team for the day only where they're divided. I'll be frank. It's more often than not deathmatch games. Then they also do some unique respawns just on the fields once we hit a certain
Can I
number
call you
of players.
Francis? I said, can I call you Francis?
Francis?
Oh, I guess nobody can see the shirt.
Oh.
If you saw the shirt, you'd understand. Deadpool, Francis. Haha.
Francis. Yes.
So you're not the Francis to my Deadpool. You're my mortal enemy. Fuck. Oh well.
Life
Carry
happens. So the pickup league will be happening, and that's the other thing too, is that if you've had a lot of fun on the summer, get the groups together, find your local teams, find your local indoor stuff, and just start an event 2 weeks out. Hey guys, this is when we're doing it, and then you do it 2 weeks out again from there. Similar to starting a podcast or other things, you might only get 5 people that show up the first time, but as it becomes more consistent, you'll get more people out. Same thing too with the pickup league. By I want to say November is when they normally start. November, early December, but by middle of January,
George, correct us.
Yeah, by the middle of January, like the attendees have gotten quite high. Like we'll go from having like 10 to 15 players to like 30 to 60, and
Yeah, I noticed the pictures got wider and wider and wider, and George was smaller and smaller,
but always lying down,
lying on his face. Yeah,
but yeah, so it's a lot of fun. It's nothing special. It's really like George spoke to the owner,
So
said,
just
"Hey,
walk
if we
on.
have
Yeah. Well,
it's walk on
yeah.
organization, but it was just like, can we get if we have this many people, can we do a private event?" Every
Mhm.
feels like that. Yeah, you can do a private event, and if you can guarantee me numbers, we're good. And then you just bring them in and take it from there.
If you really think about it, I worked at one of the field owners' fields while he was doing that. I know everything about the pickup league's origin.
I understand that you know
Sorry.
everything about it.
I was there. I have the email. No, I don't have the emails anymore. That email's gone.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, it's fun. It's good. So check it out on Facebook if you are in the GTA region, or if you're gonna stop up. And then
Make that pickup league. Yeah, because it's all deep fields. And they did DEF CON once or twice.
they
Right?
did DEF CON once. The problem is Toronto would work for the early stages, but it's too small after a bit. And
Yep.
Mississauga, I think they had an issue of cover, because while the field's fairly big, cover isn't the best on it, and it can be hit or
Wow.
miss.
Yep.
Yeah. And even the predecessor to the pickup league for the couple of years before was, and what started the pickup league in and of itself was walk-on evasions. So
Yes.
a walk-on evasion
I remember
was,
those, yep.
yeah, was just,
Like
hey
these-
guys, 4 people are guaranteed to go to this field. Anyone want to come, just show up. And that was a lot of fun too. So that was a trending thing for that. And yeah, Gallagher's got it right. It's the DEF CON cover is like for 1 or 2 people at a time. So
Yeah.
just to start off,
Because
it was
of those
too many.
concrete tubes. You can fit
Yeah.
4 people, 2 inside, 2 in the back.
Yeah, it just it can get a little
15.
little too hectic.
Yeah, of course.
So yeah, it's been really good. So that's fun. I don't know, anything else to add for?
Everything, man. I could go on for days about winter paintball, man.
Yeah, but then I have
know
to buzz
this.
you.
You can't ask this. You don't have to buzz me. Well, to go.
Okay, do you want to go?
Let's
Do you
go.
want me to bring back your 2 topics that you were going to talk about?
Sure.
You were going to talk
Shoot.
about the oh crap, the pistol.
Okay, so yeah, no, the
Tiberius
the
pistol.
TI pistol,
Yeah.
the Tiberius pistol, the 8.1, the 8.1 and the 9.1. The 9 was an amazing little tool because it could be turned into a ton of different guns as well as the 9.1. They had the 4.1 and the 4, the Rangers. No, that was a 9.1 mod was the Ranger.
Yeah.
Then they had their 4.1s. And those were fun. They were great. And then they decided, they moved away from everything, went to pistols, and pistols were their bread and butter forever. They built
Yep.
a pistol rifle. If I'm not mistaken,
And they have their new one that I
Too
don't
Tall
know when it's
had
coming, but
a Tiberius that was the most dangerous paintball gun ever. Every time he'd slap a mag, the first ball would go off. So he would purposely point his gun at people as he reloaded so that he would hit people. And it was a great tactic because it was like it would have made your predicament so much better because all you would have to do is sit with your mag just sitting there waiting for someone to come around that corner, cycle it right as they come around the corner, and it's bang, 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 bang. If you were to, John Wick it, to go back to our Talking Tactical movies, which we're going to be doing another one in 2 weeks, guys.
Yep.
Which is news to Tyler, but I decided this earlier this week. We're gonna actually put it up to a vote for you guys. We'll put a vote up in our Facebook page to vote on the next movie we talk about. Obviously, eventually we will do a John Wick 2. If nobody votes, we'll just come up with something else. But that's a plan. So the back to the 8.1s. Who else? It's always the Vice guys. They just had so many guns that they could tweak and play with. And they played with so many great toys. Rancid had what he called an 8.9. It was a hodgepodge of an 8 and a 9. And some 8.1 parts. It would take 8.1, those nice new 8.1 mags.
Yep.
Oh, I love those things. When they changed those mags, they made them a little bit too heavy. Welcome, Callum. They made them a little too heavy because they put that big block of aluminum on the bottom.
Yeah.
But along with that air assist, the reload time on those things was so much faster because it just shot out.
Yeah.
Which I've always loved about the Tiberius mags. When you push that button, however, that's a huge giveaway, which is something I love about the TPX. When you reload your TPX, it's done.
The 2 pistols,
Quiet, simple, silent. Sorry.
I think there's such a uniqueness to each one that you come to love or hate, and that is what sticks with them. I know,
and there's always 1 or 2 features that you hate, and that's what
Yeah.
sets you. I want this one. I want that one.
Yeah.
And for me, What would you say? Have you played with
Weight.
an 8.1?
Hands down the
Yeah.
weight.
Yeah.
I just found playing pistol in general was weird to begin
Gallagher,
with,
vote when we open the vote.
yeah,
Sorry, carry on.
and just the weight of it felt so off to me. And then even my pistol, my TPX, once I got the ambidextrous release, is when I truly I got into that gun so much more and enjoyed it so much more, because I had actually done a season with the ambidextrous, and then I entered the pistol challenge at Wasaga. And I had one reload where I was fumbling because I was looking for my little switch, and I couldn't find it. So it's a really simple thing. I don't think the aluminum ones are being sold anymore, but Exalt has the equivalent, and they're pretty cool too. So I definitely recommend it. Have you played? Actually, here's a good pistol to bring up: the Goblins.
Oh, that's not a pistol. It's a belly gun. It's a little what do they call it? Oh, I'm not wearing pants. The Crow. Let's talk about which Crow. Sorry, he just James just threw in The Crow, and the movie. It's not tactical. That's a dead guy who got mad and just lives forever. That's not fair. You can't talk tactical. That's like saying let's talk tactical about a video game on God mode.
I was just looking.
Is
at
it the suicide gun?
Nathan's comment. The it's very much American pistols.
I've never played with one, ever.
I've seen the similar mock-ups of it. I've never played with that one specifically.
Says the guy who dresses up like the Crow every year. Sorry.
And then Gallagher has a good point too about the Goblins. They are a suicide gun. For those that don't know, they are
Derringer. Exactly, it is a Derringer.
Yeah.
Thank you. Belly pistol.
Yeah.
It's a little 22. It's about that long.
Yeah.
It had that funky little goblin shape to it.
If you're not as aware, it pretty much they're the pirate gun. I've heard them described as that too by more inexperienced people.
Yeah.
I just the handle and whatnot's on it, but
it's got that old flintlock look, but it's a sawed-off shotgun.
Yeah, sawed-off shotgun is a better example too. They're fun. One of oh crap, name blanking right now. Archangel Media.
Aries. Adam Kaditz.
Adam, thank you.
You're welcome.
I actually,
I had to think about that too. I had to go to his Snapchat name. What's his
Snapchat? I'm going
Aries
back in my
TV.
head, and I'm like,
do we have a Snapchat? You should get a Snapchat for talking tactical paintball, and then
I don't know if we do or not. That's
fantastic.
Instagram. That's just
Instagram.
Instagram. It's pretty much Instagram.
No, Snapchat's on the fly. Yeah, okay, whatever.
No,
Anyways,
there's stories. I do post quite a few stories on Instagram. So it's the Talking Tactical there. But yeah, so he had them at one of the pickup leagues, and he has an air bow, which was super cool too. But he really just was run, shoot, drop the gun, shoot, drop the gun. Like you think you drop mags a lot. These things are they're fun. I do have a friend who used it at Sector for a while too. They would actually load first strikes into them, because then they could get the FPS up just enough that it felt more oh crap moment. It was the oh crap moment. Yeah, Callum Adam.
Gotta thumb load those first strikes. Those are love that.
Actually, speaking of first strikes, George had a good post from Wasaga. Now that there are so many colored ones, you put the odd color loaded in at first. And then you know when you shot your last one. It was like one of those things. I'm like, just to give a little shout out for that. Like that was super cool. I think he was shooting yellows, and then orange was his last shot.
It's an old like tracer trick. Yeah. When you're firing an MG, you make your last 7 shots tracers. So when you see 1, 2, 3, 4, you just start reloading. Yeah. Exactly. Because normally a tracer it goes 4 regular, 3 tracer, 4 regular, 3 tracer. Yeah. Because the bullets hit the plane and the tracers light it on fire. Back in World War II days. When tracers made sense, because now we have our eye sensors, we can just see our bullets flying. It's ridiculous. Warfare has changed. You see that Elon Musk is fighting to stop companies from creating robotic and AI fighting machines?
I didn't. Last thing I heard about him, he released his mock-up of his the suits for the Mars mission.
It was the same. What's not podcast? It was the same press release.
Oh, okay. I only saw like the news clippings of it. I didn't actually watch it. So,
style gun. Yeah, it's a nice old flintlock. Love that. I love that. That's what I liked about it. Like a good old revolver. What was the name of that old revolver paintball gun?
That's still being. Massive. There's one that's being made right now. I'm trying to remember who makes it. It's from New Zealand. Who's making that?
Black Sheep Paintball? No. The gentleman who's from New Zealand?
Yeah, he's in New Zealand.
Who was
He's making the guns.
that? He's in New Zealand. I thought it was the guy who was from New Zealand who is in the hell is his name? Was he at New York? Zero Hour?
I don't think he was at 0 Hour.
'Cause I know the guy. I know the gentleman and his wife that were beside the Milsig tent were both from New Zealand. And for the life of me, Fixer, I think was his name. I'm not sure if it's his company, but he made a lot of. That's Holden. Crossman.
Yes, Crossman Paintball Revolver.
Yes.
Yeah, those things look crazy cool. Let's see if I can find.
Thank you, Matthew. See?
Oh, chat will always save us. Chat always saves.
Except for the private messages, those get annoying. Not that well, they don't get annoying. They just get a little deep.
I know that's actually official. Paintballs. Now I'm trying to find if he has. I think he's just on Facebook.
Interesting.
But yeah, those are super cool, and I know he's making them faster now. So yeah, and that's Holden. That's according to Nathan.
Holden, that's Holden. Like it's a person?
Yeah.
First name, last name? That's a wall. That's not going to give you the answer.
Very funny. I
Sam
can't find
Holden,
it now.
thank you. Airsoft mods, revolvers. Whatever happened to Engler Arms? Is he still doing stuff? Like that guy made the Sarge kit. Well, he made a really cool kit and then named it the Sarge kit because Sarge also made a kit. The old Glock.
Yeah, I'm not
airsoft kits. It's okay. I can't remember. I only saw this revolver like twice, and it was at with Sega at the vendor tents during the big games. Couple of years ago, quite a few years ago. But I've never really held a working one that I know of.
I haven't had a chance to like use one, but I've seen them and I've talked to people who have, and they really like them. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to find. I think my favorite mod is still the Victor Vector kit.
Yes,
from
the 3D printed ones.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I think Gallagher made them too. Gallagher made a lot of those vector kits for people. He's a 3D printing master.
Oh, actually, yes. To shout out to the Magfed maker is he already has a prototype for the the M5 to run the SMG
mags.
The Tempest drums. Thank you.
You're welcome. I saw that. But what is the? How do you modify a fixed magwell?
Pardon?
Like
he took out the magwell. You can take the magwell out.
I haven't really fussed with an M5 yet. If somebody feels so kind to send me one, I would take it for free. That'd be great. Otherwise, I just no. Let's not send away free things. Then we end up turning into other companies. Well,
that happened.
No. It's I would love a free Milsig, but that's never in the cards. Which is it's good. It's integrity. If you're giving your shit away, it just proves that it's cheap. If you can afford to give it away, then it proves that you can afford to give it away. It's not a matter of saying that you can afford it because you're rich. It's saying you can afford it because it's really not that great.
So there's that too. Okay, I'm tagging you in the post for it. There you go, so you can see it.
Thank you very much. I will look at that later.
Yeah. So no, there's a ton of cool mods out there. So,
sorry.
But let's see here. I think we're coming up to that hour mark, so I think we're gonna call it because we don't need a 2-hour show again. To
wrap it up, like to go back to everything, winter games are a lot of fun, but with the cold comes the cold, and guns fail because the lubricants not dry up. Sorry, they coagulate. They become really, really, really not what's the opposite of viscous? Non-viscous, but that's
not
a non-viscous.
Yeah, not viscous.
Not viscous. They just become coagulated and they gung up your gun, especially if you use greases. Some oils, obviously, there's some gun oils that work better at low temperatures. There's pneumatic gun oils like for auto shops and stuff that work better at low temperatures, which I actually started to use in some of my guns a while back, but it gets a little expensive.
Yep.
It's like $30 a bottle. If I can remember where I got it from Home Depot, but there are pneumatic gun, which are meant for air tools, and those guns move so much faster and so much more than ours do that a
Yeah.
little just dollop of that stuff, it's just gold. It's like liquid graphite
Yeah.
lubricant.
And-
But winter games they're a lot of fun, but again, you get the winter problems. You get the cramps. You get the sitting in the cold. You do have the risk of frostbite because a lot of people do. They don't bring extra socks. They don't dress properly.
Yep.
They don't do their due diligence to prepare for the cold, which is the biggest problem with winter games is just preparation. The guys like diehards, all the diehards, they always know like layer, so that as the day goes on and I get sweaty, I can pull off my layers and I'll be fine. Whereas the new guy will always go out in jeans and a t-shirt and freeze to death.
Yep.
And it happens all the fucking time. It's so frustrating to see. And then fall, that's what I like about the fall games better. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm gonna say like fall games are definitely like both of our favorites. Like we were talking about, like you're used to your gear, fields are built up. You may know a field better if you've been playing there throughout the year. Everyone's usually brings their A game, so definitely and friends. We talked about it at the beginning, but to mention it again,
You make new friends too, because in the fall you get all those new people you met in high school or college. All these new people in college, and obviously there's forums on the college pages and stuff.
Yep.
Where there were back in the day, where it was like, who wants to go play paintball? And sure enough, there would be 300 or 400 people. We do paintball games through my union as well. Like they're just like, hey, who wants to go play paintball? And an entire department will just show up at a paintball game.
And like we talked about before too, like there's the first 4 letters of paintball, and so in the fall you can layer up. It's what I tell people all the time. If you want to go but you're scared, that's the best time. Fall's the best time.
Wear your jeans and a t-shirt, put on the coveralls that they provide you, and you will have ample protection. Yeah, you'll feel it, but you won't get the bruises.
Yep.
As
And then
bad.
Segue conversations were fun modifications and
Yep,
markers.
I love the fun moments. My favorite
backup
gun mod
markers.
of all time, it was my Sarge kit. But I got that I don't want to be a hipster, but I got my Sarge kit before there was a Sarge kit. A member of Black Ice named Bear just bought one of those Glock kits for an airsoft. It wasn't even an airsoft gun; it was a full metal kit, and he modded down everything. I ended up selling that to Matthew Muscat of MLS previously. He's quit paintball to become a DJ, but not a normal DJ. I'm gonna hit play DJ. We don't talk anymore. Yeah, Matt Muscat. He's a good kid. He worked at. It's actually funny. He worked at Paintball City for years until one day he walked into Deep's office and said, "I'm done." And Deep just said, "Okay, there's the door." Didn't even let him quit properly. Just sent him to the door. My work. Who wants to do their C7 qual Thursday? No, thank you. You have fun with that. Section range day.
All right, so Mr. Nero Wolf, where can people find you?
You can find me. I've taken over our Twitter. So on Twitter at Talking Tactical, no podcast. You can find me on Instagram at Mr. Nero Wolf, Facebook at Nero Wolf, YouTube at Mr. Nero Wolf. But of course, you can always find me right here on Talking Tactical Podcast because this is my new home as Tyler's co-host. Where can we find Talking Tactical, Tyler?
We are Facebook, obviously, as you're checking out here on the live stream, but you can also find us on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, anywhere you get your podcasts. They should be up in there. Just search Talking Tactical. We are also on Instagram under Talking Tactical. Yeah, just Talking Tactical there. And then on YouTube as well, Talking Tactical, where we will post all of the shows from Facebook. Also, the pub night is currently up there, which was our last episode, where thank you, Evan, for hosting us at...
As Ben Hutchinson comes online.
Yep. And then also, past episodes will be there. And just on the paintball field, I think is the one place you can usually find me too. All right, guys.
Excellent.
So thank you so much for checking us out, having a stop and visit with the chat if you did. If you're watching it recorded later, well, thanks for checking us out then. We
Thanks
are
for talking tactical with us, guys.
Yeah, trying to air every Thursday currently around 8:30 Eastern. So keep your eye open. I think we're bi-weekly
hashtag
for sure.
TTP, Talking Tactical.
TT podcast.
Thursdays Talking Tactical Podcast Thursdays. TTPT. No, I like TTTT. Thursday Talking Tactical Thursdays.
Talking Tactical Thursdays.
That's a new hashtag. We should work on that. Hashtag Talking Tactical. We're gonna make that work next week, guys.
Yeah. So bi-weekly for sure. Weekly
Trended on
is the
Twitter.
Goal. All
Excellent.
right, guys. Well, thanks so much for catching us out. We will see you on the field and have a good one.
It's always been a pleasure. Take care, guys.